It's early August in Madison, Wisconsin, when it feels too close to the end of summer, but still too far from the start of the 2022 college football season. Here at Camp Randall Stadium, the Wisconsin football team is reporting for fall camp, the fourth phase of the off-season program, and the most valuable.
All right, guys. Obviously excited to get going here.
The Badgers will be on the field and practice 25 times before their season opener against Illinois State. And while coming off back-to-back seasons that ended with bowl wins, Wisconsin now has 4 new position coaches and a new offensive coordinator in place.
We're here, today starts it, but we've got to find a way to maximize it. 25 days, 20 practices, and we've got to make a lot of hay. Right? Camp rules, pretty simple. Right? Be on time and do what's right. And they really should put a third one, and that's ball out.
There are 25 practices on the fall camp schedule, 25 chances to drill down the details, make an impression on the coaching staff, and earn a contributing role on the roster.
Let's get after it. Let's have a day. Let's have a day. From the start to the end. Start to the end. Let's frickin' go.
In his third year as a starter, quarterback Graham Mertz enters camp with a newfound awareness that comes with experience.
Set! Money.
I think you come into college, and you come in a boy, and then you slowly go through a bunch of things and you learn about yourself and how you react to different situations, and that slowly grows you into a young man and then a man. And I feel like for me, just like that, going through that entire process of the past 2 years, or the past 3 years really, that's what gives you that genuine confidence to go out there and just rip it.
Wait, set!
I think it's the biggest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. At some point in your life, you got to be selfish and be like, all right, what do I need to do better personally to help this team win? How do I genuinely go through ups, downs, good stuff, ugly stuff? Like, it's like you learn so much about yourself through that process that's where you have that kind of baseline that, all right, like you got that genuine confidence that I can go out there and just have fun and play how I want to play.
For Mertz, confidence in himself, along with that experience, has led him to taking on a larger role as a leader, coaching up the players around him and giving them a push if they need it.
Really work like tempo, like different balls, like rip it at them, flow up, back. Yeah, I'd say err on the side of more shifty, like you can tempo it and just be shifty with it.
But just as important can be the notion of simply being present, something new offensive coordinator Bobby Ingram has stressed.
Wait, set!
Let's go, reload, here we go.
You can't change the past, and you can't worry too much about the future. You know, I think living in the present moment allows you to compete and to play at a level that you're just understanding what's going on around you.
I told the guys before practice today, just a skill group, like 5 years ago, you dreamt of being here. Like this was your dream. Like why not just be in the moment and have as much fun as you possibly can? So that's kind of what I just try to take in every day, and he does a fantastic job of reminding us of that.
It's a process of him just continuing to grow and mature as a quarterback and trying to give him the tools to allow his natural physical abilities to shine. You know, he's worked really hard, he's competitive, he cares, he's mastering the playbook. So yeah, it's just been a process, it's been fun, and it's just like, just take this day, this practice, and really embrace the process, right? I think we're so results driven, but I just want him to embrace the process of playing quarterback and getting better in every phase.
I thought he was going to set it higher.
No, it's like really a true high-low, so if he would have came out a little flatter and quicker,
okay.
Threw him to the
Hey, that's better. I mean, use your strength, use it to your advantage, you know what I mean? You get that, you should be going like, oh my God, I'm about to tear this dude up.
I'm a firm believer on how you do anything is how you do everything. And obviously I had to learn that. And once you take that approach to everything, it makes everything a lot more fun, a lot more enjoyable. Even when it's not enjoyable, you know that it's going to get better in a couple of days. So there's a bunch of things that, like, just personally, I've learned. It's the old quote where it's you grow through what you go through, and I think that's my story to this point, and just can't wait to go play.
Mertz's story is far from finished, and everyone knows how it started and how he got to Madison. Heavily recruited, campus visits, and ultimately a commitment to Paul Christ and the Badgers. For one of his classmates, The story couldn't be more different. Nose tackle Keanu Benton was part of that 2019 signing class. And even though he lived just 45 minutes away in Janesville, Wisconsin, he never imagined playing college football, let alone playing for the Badgers.
Kind of was thinking, what did I want to do after high school? I did this house build class, so I was really into carpentry. In my mind, that's what I was going to do after, because I didn't have no offers. Coach Mullen ended up reaching out to McIntosh.
I called Chris McIntosh, freaking picked up, and I said, hey, this is Mark Mullen from Janesville Craig. And he's like, hey, Mark, how are you? He didn't know that one, I know. I said, I'm calling you because I got somebody you guys need to get for football. And he's like, you tell me that's your big heavyweight wrestler? And I'm like, yeah. And I knew Chris was a state wrestling champion.
Like the next day, I got invited up here, and my parents didn't have a vehicle, so I had to find a ride up here somehow. I'm like, Mom, I gotta do this, I gotta do it. And our athletic director at the time, also football head coach at the time, ended up taking me up here with him and his son, and that was the best thing that could have happened to me. And then I got here, talked to Coach Chris for a little bit. It's like a couch, and then 2 seats. He was looking at me in my eyes, and I remember him just saying, like, he was offering me a full ride, and I kind of just like blacked out for a little bit.
He calls at like 10:40 at night, and he said, I just left Coach Chris' office and signed a full ride. And I'm thinking, there's no way you find a full ride yet. And I'm like, Keanu, do you know what a full ride is? He goes, yeah, I'm gonna be a Badger. He goes, I got a scholarship, a full ride. On that day.
It was a dream come true. Like, that moment right there really changed my life. I thank Coach Chris, I thank Coach Mullen, I thank McIntosh, I thank all those guys for getting me in the place I am today. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, do it, do it.
One phone call. That's all it took to get Benton to Madison. Now, the highly decorated high school wrestler is a preseason All-American, captain, and defensive leader. His road to get here was a surprise. How he's developed and grown into the position isn't.
Well, the mat, it just kind of reminds me of good times. You know, that's when I kind of found myself. I didn't know how to lead anybody. I didn't know what to do. Football, I wasn't the top guy. Then, I came in wrestling and I was the top guy. And I had to lead a team at an early age. I was a freshman coming in leading guys. So it was different, but it kind of helped me become the person I am today. I mean, it's gritty. Wrestling, you can't blame nobody else. It's you and one other person. So you got to go impose your will on another man. And it's different, but it builds character for sure. Same thing with playing defense. You got to impose your will on a huge offensive lineman. And it just builds that grit and that composure that you can do so. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Wrestling and playing on a defensive line pretty much go hand in hand because it's basically a wrestling match on a defensive line. You got to stay low, you got to be able to move your feet, you got to try to be quicker, and then you got to also read what the other guy's doing.
So much of his time on the mat being tied up with a person and feeling right when they're going to shoot or when they're going to try and trap him or do different things with with handwork and countering that type of stuff. He's light years ahead of most guys in terms of being able to see but really feel what the blockers are trying to do to him.
Like when you're bull rushing somebody, you can feel their sit so you can know when to pull. If you're working the outside move, you can feel when they're oversetting you too much so you know when to counter inside. Wrestling helped me so much. Like if I didn't wrestle, I don't know if I'd be here.
Now trying to run and nowhere to run. Keanu Benton gets to the quarterback.
Benton started all 13 games last season and for 3 years has played a major role in the Badgers' dominant defense. He's the kind of player every opponent will have to game plan for, and the kind every defensive line coach wants to have in his room.
Way to work, man, way to work.
I think what excites me the most about Keanu heading into this season is really his growth off the field and his maturity. His ability to handle adverse situations and how he bounces back and how he approaches that, which is transferred into his leadership, being a guy that this team looks to and leans on. That's a lot of weight on your shoulders, and the way that he's kind of jumped headlong into it and embraced it, and being voted a captain by his players really reflects the respect that they have for him, the work ethic that he's brought. You know, that's something you have to earn every single day. And to me, that's what excites me most, is because his growth, he has the physical tools, he has the talent, there's no question. But the way that he's really grown mentally and in maturity-wise has been very impressive.
The group of guys, I love these guys. You know, I'm blessed to have received the captain. I'm ready to go compete with these guys and go to war. I feel like it's going to be real hard not to start some guys, and that's what I like to see. Everybody's working their tail off and pushing it to the limits, and that's what I love to see from everybody, because at the end of the day, it's going to make us a better team.
Not that they need a reminder, but every day, making their way from the locker room to the practice field, everyone sees their why. What they're preparing for, what they'll be playing for, all on display. 1 month to come closer together. Just 25 practices to do everything possible to become that better team. Because summer will be over before they know it.